Yeah, do we have another question? Oh, we have one over here.
Yeah, just a question on, as we get more into devices interacting with the physical world and where we're going with that. So, for example, like near field communication where you have phones or cards or things that are interacting and doing payments or presenting information, or things like augmented reality where you're experiencing the physical world from your devices. I just want to get your thoughts on where we're going with that as far as accessibility, not only to people that may be visually impaired or hearing impaired, but also to young and old and so on.
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
If I may, it's an interesting field because you mentioned some things that, to be a bit controversial, we're still trying to get the basics right. I mean, interfaces for touchless payments and near-field communications is still pretty difficult to do, even for the most mainstream, tech-savvy, financially aware person. So the more extreme and far out it is, I think we're trying to do the basic design work. But having said that, if we're doing inclusive design, then everything gets moved along at the same pace. But I think we still got some really fundamental design work, really interesting design work to do in some of those areas that you mentioned. But it's coming, and if we do inclusive, then it'll come along.
Fantastic. I'm actually going to cut the panel just short. I'm really sorry, just because I'm really aware of time. Now, I don't know if any of you noticed, but outside on the wall, Veronica was actually, Veronica there in the purple, was actually helping people if they were interested in basically helping us gather some information. Veronica, can you just tell us a little bit about what you have done on the wall over there?
Yeah, so first of all, thanks to everyone who's put up their opinions on that wall. So we've asked people 3 questions. So what kind of barriers currently exist to accessibility from their perspective? What kind of activities they're involved in and what they would like to see changed. And the common themes so far have been, so first of all, for barriers, there's still lack of awareness, in particular in terms of quick wins. How can you make small changes that will straight away get your site working and be as inclusive as possible? And also another theme which is currently a barrier is persuasion and lack of buy-in from people who are high up, CEOs. In terms of activities that people are involved in, apart from just user testing, audits and expert evaluations, what I thought was interesting about another theme was that custom guidelines and kind of human and real cases for accessibility were another types of activities. So, and what people like to see changed is access to easy and understandable guidelines and quick checklists, help with persuading stakeholders, and also there's, actually as Jonathan said, user stories and cases of how technology has, of how accessibility has helped people get access to websites. But I'd just like to say very quickly in terms of this event, I think it's evolved as well, and I think the common theme in all the speakers has been integrating accessibility into everyday processes effortlessly, which I think is great.
Thank you. If you do want to add anything to the wall, then please do. So thank you very much, Veronica, for that. And I'd just like to say a very heartfelt thanks to all of you for coming along, and if we could say thank you.